Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. Redditors who had a gunshot wound. How did it happen? And how does it feel? Well, wearing a vest, it hurts significantly more right off the bat. The plus side being that it was a 9mm and was stopped from going on a joyride to the lung cafe. The other hit was a thigh wound that missed my femoral by a solid inch. It did, however, hit the femur, giving me a decent fracture. Felt like a bee sting for a second, then my leg hurt like hell. I was still able to support myself and return fire, which was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. My recommendation, if you're going to get in a gunfight, don't. Who TF clapping 9mm at you, stateside. I'm assuming soft armor, not plates. Soft armor, IIA, issued by my department at the time. It was a dispute at a nightclub between two groups. Mixture of handguns. I arrived having been informed it was a fist fight. Soon as I got out of my car, they went full retard, 4 injured including myself. No fatalities. I knew a guy that took a shotgun to his hard plates. He was first in, there was maybe a second pause, and then he kept advancing. Everyone inside immediately surrendered. Steel plates are f***ing nice, but they're heavy as shit, and, incidentally, don't bend that well. I've got a set in the trunk now, but they'll likely sit there and be worn maybe a dozen times for training before I retire. There isn't f*** all going on in the much smaller department I'm on now. Some guys were trespassing, shooting ducks on our property when I was 14. I was chasing our pet calf around and thought I heard voices and went for a look. Saw the guys and turned to leave because I didn't care. People got a retio. One of them turned and fired towards me based on movement. Got my left shoulder and top of my back and neck from behind. I was wearing a swandry, a thick woolen farm coat thing, and it took most of the impact as it got reeked. Felt like lots of bee stings that didn't stop stinging. Then cold and aching. I walked back to the house and didn't really get what had happened. Getting patched up hurt more because of the digging around for wool fibers in the holes. Edit, spelling. Whatever happened to the people who shot you? They drove to the police station and handed themselves in. Turns out they knew my dad and panicked. When they recovered their senses, they went straight to the police station and confessed to everything from poaching to murder. The police/fire/medical clinic were all one big building, so it got cleared up pretty fast that I was still alive. They even came and saw me after, so that was nice. Edit, words are hard. I hope they don't get charged of murder, since they came clean so quickly. Still dumbasses, so maybe a few days jail time. Well, it happened 25-ish years ago, so I can tell you they didn't get jail time. The older guy got a reprimand from the local JP and a fine for a firearms offense. The younger guy wasn't charged at all but did a lot of volunteering around town cleaning and painting. I think the best outcome from the event happened. I didn't die, and valuable lessons were learnt without ruining lives. So they ran off after they shot you, or did they not even realize they'd hit you? Yeah, they knew and ran off. The way I look at it now is that they thought I was dead or dying. Panic and poor decision making ensued. Once rational thinking returned, they did the right thing, and I want to believe that counts for something. And, about 4/5 years later, I porked his niece. So swings and roundabouts. Edit, I'm so happy that my post referring to porking someone is given the Wholesome and Timeless Beauty Awards. Amy, these awards are half yours. My dad was shot during the Gulf War, and he told me that it felt like being jabbed with a cigarette butt. He said it felt sharp and hot. Lots of posts have compared it to being burned by a cigarette. I'm just gonna trust your dad on this one. It doesn't hurt as much, at first, as movies portray. The second it happens, it feels like you got a quick injection. It slowly hurts more over time. Horribly. It was a result of dumb gang violence when I was younger. There was a kid in my grade school who got hit by a stray bullet in the gut while standing on his porch. He described it as a bit of a burning sensation that grew more intense as time passed. What time scale are we talking about here? Hours or days? Just trying to put myself in the position. Edit, I was asking seriously. I'm guessing a few seconds, based on how the pain increases getting kicked in the balls. The first second is like that wasn't so bad, I got lucky, and then a few seconds later you're on the floor writing in agony. I too scribble on the floor when I'm in severe pain. was a negligent discharge from a friend that found its way into my back. Left me paralyzed as it hit my T12 vertebrae. I first fell straight back down to the ground and didn't feel anything, but then I felt extreme pain in my lower back, then the feeling of a hot liquid running down me. All I could do was tell and swear and grasp onto anyone that was near me. Obviously it was the worst pain anyone could imagine, and I never again want to feel that. Edit. For everyone wondering, it was a .22 bullet that hit my T12 vertebrae. It missed my spinal cord, but the impact caused paralysis anyways. Because of that, my recovery has been well, and I'm able to move everything but my left calf and foot. I'm walking on crutches, but still use my chair by often. Also yes, I'm still friends with my friend and we have gone shooting together since. What happened to your friend? Still my friend. Police ruled it an accident and didn't charge him, and I didn't want to press charges. He has really helped me, and it's a huge mental help for him knowing I forgive him and can move on from it. I was walking home from a movie and got hit in the thigh. It felt something like being stabbed with a burn. I was lucky that it was really only a graze. No entry. I sat on the ground for a few minutes, then limped the rest of the way home and bandaged up. It felt better after a few days. But why were you shot? He knows what he did. I got a .22 bullet in the quad muscle. It felt hot. Got it taken out and it just felt like a bruise for a few weeks. I don't know how it happened. Don't know how it happened? Huh. My brother accidentally shot himself in the leg with a .22 when he was 15. He was in a car, so he told his friend the driver to stop, and he walked up to a neighbor's house because mom wasn't home and asked for 2 band-aids, one for the entry, one for the exit hole. Apparently it kind of freaked the poor lady out. It hurt like hell. My vision narrowed so much that it looked like I was looking through straws. I thought that saying wasn't serious until that I got hit after a ricochet and it got stuck under the skin of my index finger. That was over 30 years ago and I'm still trying to get it removed since it hurts when I lift weights. The GPs I've talked to say I need to see a hand surgeon, but the hand surgeon I went to said it was too easy to remove for him since it's just below the skin, so said he has better uses for his time. Sucks to be in pain and have money so I can afford the help, but to not get it. I was serving in the army and running away from gunfire when it just jumped up and bit me right in the buttocks. They said it was $1 million wound, but the army must keep that money cause I still haven't seen a nickel of that $1 million. The only good part was all the ice cream they fed me. I had 3 gunshot wounds from a shooting at my middle school, 1 in the leg and 2 in the abdomen. If we are honest, the one in the leg hurt most. In the leg it burns and gets worse over time. It isn't the initial impact, but the after effect before you get painkillers is the worst. In the abdomen the pain spreads and feels throbby. The initial impact hurts more on this one. When I was 15 I dropped an old .22 LR revolver out in the woods. 70s model without a hammer block, and it landed on the ground facing upwards and discharged into my leg. I didn't even realize I had been shot at first as it hit a nerve in my leg, immediately went numb. I thought I had gotten lucky because I thought it missed me. Then I pulled my pants leg up and saw blood. It went in just above my knee and ended up somewhere in my butt cheek. Doctors said it narrowly missed my femoral artery and the hollow point bullet didn't expand, so they left it in there, gave me some antibiotics, and sent me home. Turns out I was lucky after all, as it traveled over 18 inches through my leg without doing any lasting damage. My leg was numb for about 2 weeks, but has been fine ever since. That was 20 plus years ago. Since then I have taken gun safety very seriously. Obligatory not me, but my brother. He was shot in the head about 4 years ago. As he describes it, he said he didn't exactly hear the shot, but he figures it was loud because it rang in his ear for a long time. He said it initially felt like the sting you get right as you get a vaccine, but all the way in his head. The bullet went through one of his eyes, exploding it, and he said that, while it did sting, it just mostly felt wet. I guess he never really knew how to describe it past that. The doctor told him later that his eye didn't hurt because by the time the initial shock faded, he didn't have an eye to be able to feel pain in. He didn't feel anything too excruciating for a little less than a minute after he got shot, and because he lost his vision and saw nothing, he thought he was dead. He soon realized he wasn't, of course, because then it started to hurt like hell. He's okay now. Luckily he didn't have any kind of brain damage, but he is permanently blind. Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write something on this topic, and also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.